Well, I'm not exactly sure where I am. Being a little lost is always half the fun, though. Well, there's the highway that would take us into Villanueva de las Torres, or if I go left to that other village, but I don't really want to go on that highway, but I believe it'd be easy enough to get there, as I just saw some fellow walking out of here. So it is possible to get there from here. Buenas. So, going straight should take me into in the middle of MECO and Villanueva de la Torre, because that's where the highway is. Also, I can see San Pedro's on top of the hill there in Los Santos de la Hermosa, which is the best landmark there is. So once again, trying to get lost is harder than it might seem. So today's been a very good test for the new KT 22 amp controller that I put in. This is the same controller that was on the bike. The only difference is this is a slightly newer version, and it also has a plug for an auxiliary light. Actually, I would like that. This controller has a light function. So it should be able to tell the controller, or this LCD has a light function button, so it should be able to tell the controller to turn the light on and off. I don't have an e-bike light per se. The tail light is for an e-bike, but it's hooked up independently to the battery. The headlight I use is a Sigma, and it's a battery operated light. Like I was mentioning earlier, the problem I was having is I would have it in one of the 5 pass modes. It's kind of like a gear shift, except for it tells the motor how much electricity it can have, and it would just cut out. It would not give any juice at all to the motor. So far today, that hasn't been a problem. So that reinforces my thinking that it was in fact the controller box. Now, when I hit 40, like right now, for example, the controller cuts out the power because that's the maximum speed it's allowed to go. And that's okay. But when it cuts out at 15 or 20 kilometers an hour, that's incorrect. Oh, a little doggy. Okay. It is windy. I don't know if you can see the trees blowing around, but everything is blowing around. Well, I'm very pleased with the way the bike is operating. The new suspension dropper seat post is working very well. I have a lot of XLC products. I've had two XLC suspension seat posts. Then I got this suspension dropper seat post, which is telescopic. The other ones are parallelogram operated, and I prefer those. And I had them dialed in very nicely for my weight, so they were pretty soft, but not so soft they were bouncy. And this one that is a little bit stiffer than I might like, but it does take the big hits. And the dropper feature works really well, and that's useful. I didn't think I would like it. I thought dropper seat posts were a gimmick, but no, they're dead useful. I also bought a XLC knee pads for when I go into the really rough areas. I thought that was a good idea. I was inspired to do that because of my eye surgery. I thought, well, I'm a little more clumsy than I'd like to be. Couldn't hurt to add a little extra protection. But I've only used them a couple times, and I will be using them again on my next ride to Araganda. Araganda is a rough ride. It goes out from Loeches through some farmlands, and then into the city of Araganda, which is actually quite pretty. Nothing spectacular, but it's just a fun destination. So that's to be my next ride, now that I know the bike is working correctly again. Oh, and I bought a XLC derailleur hanger gauge. How it works is you remove your derailleur, screw it into the derailleur screw socket, and it has a feeler gauge that works with the rear wheel, and you can adjust by bending on, has a big long steel handle. By bending it a little, you can make sure that your derailleur hanger is true parallel to the bicycle wheel, which would also mean the cassette. And then when you screw up your derailleur once again, you'll be ready to go. You'll be aligned. Hola, Perito. ¿Qué tal? Alrighty then. So yeah, that's a handy tool. I should do a YouTube video on it. You can also do it by eyeball, but having a gauge is the way, and you don't want to spend a lot of money on one because you only use it a couple times a year maybe. But even if you put a new derailleur hanger on, just to make sure that it's exactly aligned, the the derailleur hanger gauge is a useful tool. So I see it money well spent, and like I say, I like this company. They make good quality products. They don't charge ridiculous amounts for them, and you're going to get your value out of it. And if this seat post is any example, and the knee pads, yeah, I can recommend them to you. Well, I think this will do, so I'm going to say stop. Stop recording.